Next speaker is Kim Lantto from Sweden, right from Gothenburg. It will be case study about this city, about the situation there. Mr. Lantto, can you hear us?
Yeah, very well. Thank you. Can you hear
Great.
me?
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Sun
Great.
is shining, and most people are happy when I look outside. So,
Welcome to first virtual Prague City Data Congress. I'm really happy we can be here, and I will ask you for your case study.
thank you. All right. Gonna see if I can share this then. All right. Are you seeing my screen now?
Yes, we can see your
Uh,
desktop.
yeah, exactly. That's a back of a head of a AI robot called Sophia. I have it as a constant reminder of how we can use innovation and techniques and technology to improve and create good, useful services for our society. So it's a good conversation starter to have as a picture. So that's why I have it as my desktop, because I do a lot of presentations in different forums. So but I'm going to go to my presentation here because what I'm going to talk about is a few cases and stories that we have here in Gothenburg, where I live, Gothenburg, Sweden, and they're all about creating digital services together with citizens, which I think is extremely important, and it's a more crucial factor that we have to look upon in the future, because economy might be decreasing and we need better engagement with our citizens in all of our processes. So just a few slides about Gothenburg so you know where I'm located. It's a second largest city in Sweden. It's down south. I'm from way up north, and I moved to Gothenburg many years ago. But this is the size of the city, and just a few stats about 10 different districts that are working here with a lot of different varieties, people from all over the world. The city where I work, we have around 55,000 employees that I work with in different varying degrees in different digitization projects and problems and solutions and ideas. Because my job is to work at a department that has the citizens and the consumers in the city of Gothenburg as a special area. So we do citizen engagement, we do contact centers, we do the web and all different kinds of web applications and web channels and digitization and e-services and so on and so on. We have a lot of interactions with the citizens and those 55,000 people that work with us as well. But I want to talk about how we can utilize the creativity from the citizens that we have. We have a couple of projects that has been going on very well. We have a long history of actually engaging citizens in different areas, in different boroughs, but also in different topics, in rebuilding the city, in having culture events, and so on and so on. But I'm going to talk about a few that I have specifically been involved with, just to show a few good ideas. So there's always going to be accessibility issues within any city that you live in, because as the icons I have there, all of these accessibilities needs to be adhered and be worked upon. So in my city, the guy standing here is called Andreas, and he works at a specific department that's their job is to see that everything in the city works in different ways, and that we have buildings and facilities everywhere that works for the citizens. And here is a typical problem that a citizen can be reporting. Say, if you're in a wheelchair and you're supposed to go up to the city official building, which is on the right there, so there's a curb that is not face down, so it's not accessible if you're in a wheelchair, and it might be not be accessible if you're in a roller. So for our city, Andreas had a lot of issues to work upon in this area, and he got engaged with different organizations and citizens within the city of talking about how can we easily report these kinds of problems to the city and get this going so that it actually creates a change. So together with the citizens, together with these groups that Andreas had collected, we started a service design journey to see how is their everyday life and how can we learn from whatever problems that they have to collect their data, to collect their feelings, their ideas and thoughts, and then try to together with them compile into, okay, what kind of service do you really need and how should this service be provided to you? And in the end, we came up with this really easy open source app that we created. It's a 5-step process within this app. It's super simple to use, and it's made together with different accessibility products and ideas and legislation, so that we're all complying to what we should be doing, but also maintaining a real clear and easy way for the citizens to address us and give these issues. For instance, this curb that is not face down. So, other topic is how to be engaged with building the city. Like Sam talked before, and Tamara talked earlier as well about how can the citizens be more engaged in how the city is being built. And it's not just all about building high high rises or housing or anything. It could be anything, building a park, building a playground, but also building a more sustainable place to live. And also within this kind of work, we have an application that's called Min Stad, My City, and that is being used for the citizens and for us who work in the city to see. It's a 3D visualization app that you can use and find locations, get information, but also contribute with your ideas, your thoughts, your creativity of saying, I would like to have something built here, maybe a restaurant in the waterway in the city, maybe a clean up this park, maybe more benches, maybe, you know, all these kinds of ideas that the city needs to collect and to actually see and feed that engagement. So it will be more transparent, more interesting for the citizens to be a part of. I'm not saying that everything that you put in this will ever be built or will be thought of, but all and every instance that people put in something in this system is being checked upon, is being read, it's being looked upon in different plans that we have for the city and so on and so on. But it's not a direct conversation tool. It's more of a give us your ideas and thoughts and let us be inspired. And then we come to the next phase in processing. Let's there then have dialogues and see how that works. But it's an ongoing process for the city and a lot of cities in Europe to see how can we have better interactions? How can we have a good dialogue with the citizens to actually co-create stuff together? So, but it's a step, and we're right here now. So, sadly, it's not open source yet, but we're working on finding a method of getting that to be open source as well. But also, we have more ideas of sharing. We have different projects that are ongoing with viable cities. We're sharing cities and so on. That is actually happening about the sharing economy. And for this, we have, together with the citizens, help them build a smart map about sustainability issues, ideas, small companies, private persons, car sharing, whatever. So within this map, you can find out whatever happens in Gothenburg, if it's an event or if somebody set up a shop that it's free fruit from my garden and so on. Well, then you can be an initiative person and put it up here, and anybody can go in and search, okay, what kind of circular economy ideas is there? What kind of transactions are there being made? How can I borrow tools? Is there a clothing entity that can borrow me clothes for a specific event, and so on and so on? So all these initiatives, all these people, all these activities are together brought on this smart map that we have. It's smartakartan.se. You can find it, but also you can just search for the smart map. The good thing about this project and the other project is that when I'm engaged and when we are engaged from my department, we always talk about open data, and we always talk about how can this project be open sourced, because we want to use this idea to share them with the world, but also find other cities, other contributors to actually co-create this, because we know that we can't put all our efforts in different projects and all our money, but we can put some. And if we share the ideas, then we know that we'll get back some idea revenue, not money, but revenues in that another iteration of the smart map will come to life, or other creative ideas on how to use circular economy, how to use sharing and caring in our city. We also been awarded with a couple of performance measures and ideas and awards from this activity that we have done. And the end of 2019, we won the Sustainable Project of 2019 award on the CIO Awards that was in Sweden, which was fun because it's most of these projects in this award ceremony is very company based and never really up to a government or city level that I've seen. They're very small, so it was really fun to be there and actually win this award and take it home and say, okay, look, we made something with the citizens. It's all about sharing stuff. It's all about being friendly and using your friendliness and encouragement as a currency in this instead of money. So trust and being friendly is the currency in this prototype and in this idea. So it was fun to talk about that instead of talking about actually making money on any project. But I think it's very important to start co-creating with the citizens. I know, like Sam said, it's not easy, and it never is when you engage in a large scale of people that have ideas and have thoughts, and some of them are going to be pissed off, and some of them are going to be thrilled to have a time to meet the city and actually complain, or be engaged. But for me, I love those complaints because that really gives me some food and some ideas and some actual work. Because if everything is peachy and clear, then the problems and the ideas won't surface, and the innovation of ideas can start. So I really encourage people to contact us, to give us their feedback. I love positive feedback, but I'd rather get the feedback that is saying that this is really not working. We need to fix this. I have a few ideas. And when they have few ideas, I'm always open for a coffee or a talk or a meetup, just like Audrey travels around in Taiwan. I'm trying to be somewhere where the citizens are from time to time and to go on these talks so that I can get the engagement that I need for my creative ideas and for our departments gauging in, okay, what are the citizens need first and foremost right here and now, and how can we supply that? So I think it's really important. One of the ways that we do this is that I, together with my colleagues, have a forum that's called Forum for Open Data and Innovation. We invite anybody, if you're a company or a private person, just to come to us. We have a few presentations about open data, how we supply open data, how we use open data, how we in different projects are talking about open data, sharing ideas, and so on. And what I want from this forum is to get people in there, to get them engaged, start talking about open data, how it can be used, question a little of ideas, but also network. So it's not always that I get the benefit of the network, but I get a lot of ideas going, and I get a lot of feedback afterwards that, hey, I met this guy and this girl, and we're actually starting this. Do you have data in this area? Can we find the contact within the city that work with that, and so on? So for me, it's a great, simple way to have these kind of forums. And we try to have them 4 times a year, just to meet up. We get some coffee going, we get a couple of sandwiches, and people from companies, from the city, and people that are interested, just to talk about stuff and see the engagement. So I'm really encouraging your cities to do this. Just really simply go to the library, ask, can we use some room for a couple of hours 4 times a year to do innovation? I'm sure they will say yes. So please try that. And also anything that we do, we try to share it. We try to share it with the city, the citizens, but also with any city in the world that is interested to talk to us and want to be engaged. And that's why I wanted to talk to you people that are listening on this event, that really encourage you to take contact with that city that you live in, but also the city that's next to you or the country that's next to you, and see, okay, how can we start co-creating stuff? Because money isn't going to be there, but the idea is always going to be there. And ideas are what drives people and what creates great relationships on going forward with good ideas. Here's a couple of examples of projects that I work with or the city works with. We have a project called Iris, where we're trying to build a city innovation platform, all built on open source from the Fireware Foundation and their open code. We're working together with Utrecht in the Netherlands and Nice in France and Gothenburg. They're the lighthouse cities within this project. And then we have follower cities and fellow cities, as we call them, that are looking into our projects and trying to replicate anything that we do. And all that we do in the Iris project is going to be shared as well. So we'll put up code, we'll share the ideas, we'll share the reports, and so on and so on, so that other cities can learn and take these steps faster than we have. Project is ongoing, and you can find it if you just search for the Iris Smart City project. We also had another project that's called SCORE, which is an Interreg project. The other one was an Horizon 2020 project. And the idea for SCORE is simply, how can we bring upon more open data? How can we use the code base that we have built in our different cities and share those with other people and share it in between our cities and work to co-create the best solution for different ideas? So for me, I've brought in the smart map. I have brought in different ideas, applications that we've done, and share those codes with the other cities so that they can start from the steps that I've done and recreate and see what they can do with this in their own city. One of the ideas that we shared, where that was very prosperous, was an idea of how to engage citizens to collect data for air quality. And we had an idea in Gothenburg that we use very simple, easy, cheap air quality measurements, IoT devices, that we help the citizens to build. We teach them how to build. We show them ideas and stuff, and then we together with them use that as a citizen science project and see, okay, how is the air quality in our city, and how can we work upon that? And that idea we had on an annual science fair that we have in Gothenburg. It's once a year that we talk about science for a whole week, different things, and we try to engage the city and the citizens to come and listen to the different projects that we have. And a couple of years we've been working with air quality and sharing those ideas and thoughts and seeing how we can change the city. All that's being shared as well as open source, so you can use that in your own city. I'm just going to show you a picture of where we are in the Digital Economy and Society Index. Sweden is right after Finland, which is always being fantastic. And if you want to look at a great city up north, you can look at Helsinki in Finland, who are doing wonderful stuff in open source and in open data, but also in how to engage citizens. Netherlands as well, Denmark as well, fantastic cities and countries that are doing a lot for the citizens and in open source communities. So, and just like I do, just reach out to them and say, hey, I'm working on this. Is there anybody in your city that wants to work with me? And most will say yes, because we all want to share these ideas, and we all want to thrive together. So don't hesitate to just reach out. Here are my contacts, my city, my webpage, also the link to my GitHub. I will share this presentation so that other people can get the links, get the ideas, get the benefits from that, and just go about their merry way and help to share. So thanks for my sharing and my talk, and let's get creative and let's start talking.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lantto, for joining us. Please stay online for the discussion that will start in a few minutes right after our last presentation.